Hello, after the short period that we didn't organize our live, today is the new approach as well special guest which just in fact will open our first live over the short period our absence. So today I'll try to introduce before all of you my special guest directly from Barcelona, and I hope our live will be extremely interesting. Hello Ugo. How
Hello,
are you?
Sebastian. Good, good. Very busy right now, but very good as well. Thank you very
I
much.
can I can I can imagine because there are only about 2 months that you're gonna start the biggest conference worldwide.
1 month, actually. 1 month and 1 day.
Yes, it's almost yes, because
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think that I will as well take a part of this marvelous event. Ugo, first of all, for all of our fans, and I hope that in the moment as well they will watch it and they will join us. Please just introduce yourself.
Right. So I'm Ugo Valenti. I am the co-founder and CEO of Smart City Expo World Congress. This is an event that we created in 2011 here in Barcelona. And then now after 14, 15 editions already, one of them being digital due to COVID. But right now, we have become the largest platform on urban innovation in the world. So very happy to be here and very happy to be with your audience together today.
Thank you very much. You mentioned something which for me is very close to my heart because I think that Barcelona as a smart city congress and expo, there is a platform which connects all of people in the same time and the same topic and the same dream about better cities. Yes.
Yes, yes, absolutely, absolutely. This is our goal.
Ugo, my first question, because I try to prepare well for our discussion, I will have, in fact, two kinds of questions. The first part is connected with you, exactly with you as a leader of this beautiful approach. And second one, I would like to assure, get to know a little bit about the Congress. So, my first question: how do you define the smart city today? How the definition changed since you have started organizing the Smart City Expo Congress? Because, as you mentioned, there is another edition. Yes, it lasts long time.
Yes, yes. So people tend to think that smart cities are about technology, but that's not it. Smart city is basically a place that uses innovation to allow for a better quality of life to its citizens. It is true that when we started in 2011, the focus was heavily on digital infrastructure and ICT, right? But over the years, this definition has shifted towards and has evolved towards putting people in the center of the and in the center of the discussion, and technology is a means to an end. We have to use technology to improve the quality of life, but basically a smart city is a city that allows a better quality of life to its citizens.
I think that even this definition appeared, I think, recently, the centric city, centric approach, that the resident exactly in the center, in the heart of the city. Yes, this person should drive in future the whole elements, whole infrastructure element, as well as the organization of the city. Yep.
Absolutely, absolutely. You cannot put technology or whatever or other innovation in front of. You need to put the citizen at the center. If we right now, just bear in mind that more and more people are coming to live in cities all over the world. In Europe, there's one reality, but when you think about, for instance, cities in Asia and Africa, there are another realities. Cities there are being even created from the ground up, and you need to make sure that the city has a soul and that the soul is being represented by the citizens. We are the ones that are giving the soul to the city, right? So always the interest and the best interest of the citizens has to be put at the center.
Ugo, based on your experience, how do you imagine the city of the future in 20 years? I know that it's really hard to predict, especially looking what is just happening now in Europe and
Yeah.
all over the world. However, share with us your personal approach, imagination about the city of the future.
Not bad. There are, well, in 20 years, uh, there might be two different kind of futures, one dystopic and one utopic, right? But let's say, in my opinion, what I expect to happen, it's I expect to have greener cities, more carbon neutral cities, more circular cities on this sense. Technology will be part of our common lives. It is already now, but it's going to be bigger in the future. The driving force of those cities will not be transport. Let's say, you know that right now plenty of cities all over the world are being created for the use of cars, and that's something that's going to shift in the future. And of course there will be huge renovations in the infrastructure of these cities. Just bear in mind that almost 70% of the infrastructure that we will need by 2050, so more or less in 20 years, has to be renewed or created from zero, right? So this infrastructure will have to be different, will have to be connected and much more green. That's for sure, right? But what inspires me here is my belief that we can reach this, let's say, more utopic level of cities, right, in which we have a really better quality of life on these places, in more inclusive spaces for everybody, and taking into account the demographics that we will have in the future, in which there will be more older people, and we need to create cities that are friendly to these older people as well as to the younger generations.
I think you are touching extremely important points. However, now even in Poland, we have big discussions among Polish big cities because there are, in fact, closing the part of the city for cars. I just was several times, in fact, in Barcelona, and in fact, the center, the heart of the Barcelona, is just closed. People are having fun. They are walking. They, I think, even don't complain there are no cars there. What is your approach to it? It's good to close the city or just to, open and just follow the people recommendation? Because I believe that as well in Barcelona years ago, people just went on strike. They just protested. Don't close the Barcelona for cars. Yes.
Yeah. I know these are huge changes, and when there's a huge change going on, there is a lot of backlash there. But let's be honest here. We need to live in a greener spaces. This is for health reasons, basically, but also because if you want to improve the quality of life of the citizenship, you need to have more workable spaces, and you need to be able to to improve, let's say, the conditions of those areas. What we have seen here in Barcelona with these super blocks, the superillas, those are the spaces you were mentioning, is that where a superilla is located, it has revitalized a lot that part of the city. So right now there are more, let's say, walkable areas. There are plenty of bars with outside areas to sit, and you know that our climate in here in Barcelona allows quite a lot for it. So that is very good. They have revitalized all the shops on those areas, because prior to that, plenty of shops were closing. So this is a new change, and but it is true that there are some, let's say, not very good things about that. So, for instance, it has increased gentrification on those areas. The prices of the housing has increased on those areas because they are more
for tourists. Yes, they are just renting for
tourists.
people.
So it is true that you need to have this mix of how do I get rid of cars, but at the same time how I can exclude these externalities that can happen. So this is an ongoing discussion. And those are some of the things that we discussed at the event, and try to bring together cities from all over the world, because this is not only happening in Barcelona, this is happening all over the world. So right now, if you go to New York City, you will see that Times Square prior to that was used by cars, and right now it's mostly a pedestrian area, right? So this type of discussions that we need to have and that we need to improve, of course.
Thank you very much. Now we can go to the Smart City Expo. Ugo, how was the idea of Smart City Expo Congress born, and how has the event evolved, over the years?
Exactly. So we launched the Smart City Expo Congress in Barcelona in 2011. And the main idea behind that is that we saw that there was this huge movement from the countryside to the city, that cities were becoming basically the global stage in which the future of the world would be decided. So we grasped that opportunity, and we wanted to create a global event from the get-go. Of course, the event was much smaller by then, but it was quite nice regardless. And there were plenty of new ideas and initiatives and potential technologies that could be used for that. But I remember in 2011 we were mostly showcasing PowerPoints, and the discussion was around installing beacons and installing Internet of Things everywhere, and we didn't know what to do with the data that they wanted to gather, right? So the the concept has evolved quite a bit. Cities themselves decided to take the initiative, and not just they'll say the big corporations that were discussing about smart cities at that moment. And as I mentioned previously, we put the citizen at the center. So this has been the evolution of the event. And right now, of course, the event is much bigger, with over 25,000 professionals coming from all over the world. So it's different, right?
I think that you successfully, connected two main paths, because the expo as a place that, let's call it business, can share ideas, can discuss, can even prospect the solution, and as well the conference that are just, this conference gathers people all over the world. They are just discussing, they are touching those hot points as well. They are looking for solution. That is amazing, because normally when I just see among around me looking for some nice cases, there is always problem to combine those two paths and connect them to make them successful. Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. And I also truly believe that Smart City Expo Congress is very unique as a platform on itself, because usually, and as you mentioned, Sebastian, there's this difference between a conference that is, on the case of urban innovation, used to be mostly political. So when you think about conference like the ones organized by the World Bank or United Nations, stuff like that, those are mostly political, and the exhibition that is mostly business driven, right? But we have been able to create this very safe space between the public and the private altogether, so that you can of course do business and showcase innovation and solutions from all over the world, but at the same time you're able to discuss at a very let's say doable and specific level on how to how to improve your city, how to become a smart city, and what type of solutions can I apply to the field, right? So this is very unique on this sense. And if you go to the exhibition area that we have, it's very unique, because you can see cities showcasing the projects that they're doing, and countries showcasing what they're doing, and at the same time together with NGOs or startups, or of course very big corporations like Microsoft or Deloitte or whatever else. So it's very unique on this sense. Yes.
I think this, amazing, because always, I think that you mentioned that, you said that, directly, that the biggest problem is to just create a safe place
Yes.
that will convince people to speak, to share, and to think about the future. That is amazing. And that is as well my next question. What makes the Smart City Expo the largest and the most influential event all over the world?
uh,
Of course, I'm just speaking still about the smart cities, yes?
yeah. It's first of all, I believe that from the get-go we wanted to be a global event, and we were successful on that. So it's very difficult to find a place in which you can have both Asian cities and companies coming over, North American, European, from Africa, from Latin America, from Oceania in some cases, even though Oceania is far away, so it's harder. But Middle East and everything, it's this mix that makes us very unique. So it's this bridge in which you can see a city from China having a discussion with Medellin, for instance. This is something that doesn't happen. Basically, it's very unique on this sense, and we have helped quite a lot in creating this, not only this conversation but also these partnerships between cities, also between companies, because it's very difficult for a single company to let's say, to introduce themselves on a very specific market. But you have this very unique situation in which I don't know, a French company or a Polish company can showcase what they're doing in Warsaw, for instance, and then sell this over to Santiago de Chile, right? So this is something that we have been very successful at, and I believe we have done a very good job. And I also have to say, even though we are Smart City Expo Congress and I represent FIRA Barcelona, I also believe that Barcelona as the city was very important on that, because it's a very singular city in the sense that it's not a 10 on everything, but it's an 8 on everything. And there are plenty of solutions being showcased around the city that are easily replied or applied to other parts of the world. So the city itself is super interesting, and basically everybody wants to come over to Barcelona.
I found as well some Polish cities, and some kind of associations and federations that are going to Barcelona just to show what they are doing, in fact, in Poland. There is as well the case of Rzeszów, the mayor of the Rzeszów mentioned. I think it will be third or second, editions that he is bringing the whole, employees of the city hall, and are just showing what they are doing, and they are so impressed by the path they can just share what they've done, and they are as well looking for the inspiration. This is amazing. Okay, next question. What main topics, themes dominate, during this year edition? Because as you know, each edition probably has some main paths, main cases, even we can call it buzzwords. What is your opinion? What is the main, what are the main topics this year?
Yeah. So when you talk about urban innovation, you talk about plenty of things, right? But I believe that there is some specific situations this year that are very important. Of course, artificial intelligence, but not just for the discussion, but we will showcase real implementations on how AI should be used for the improvement of a city. And this is different than just talking about AI. It's real use cases that can be helpful. Of course, climate resilience, affordable housing, mobility infrastructure, or urban infrastructure. Right? But the most important thing for me this year is not only to have these discussions, but to really apply them on the field. And how can they be applied on the field? That's going to be the main difference going forward. Is not just having discussions, but really showcasing things that can be applied tomorrow on your city, and having these honest discussions between what's working and what is not working, and things that can be successfully applied and things that are more difficult to apply, about discussing financials on everything, because money here is an issue, and we all know that. And also talk about regulation, because sometimes regulation is not very helpful for the use of innovation, right? So let's say more grounded things that can be helpful for everybody.
What I notice as well, because I take part of different conferences in this region, however, now in this region, the most important topic, which is just repeated by all of people, especially from cities, there is the cyber security. And even this basic security, how to protect our cities. And what do you think? As well, this topic is just became so important for other cities, maybe far from the, the border of the war as well in Europe?
Absolutely, it's because we always talk about connectivity and technology and all this stuff, and when you connect things, you need to be wary of cybersecurity on this sense. So this is a very hot topic, of course, and we will showcase different initiatives and different solutions towards this. But this is something, for instance, that in my opinion is something very important. And of course, in the 2025 edition, we will have this discussion, but going forward, this will be a hotter topic. Those are some dangerous things that can happen when you connect things. Yeah.
When you just see, maybe you will share as well as how many participants, I'm thinking about the companies, business, NGOs in total. How many those organizations taking part in the conference this year?
Exactly. So we expect to have more than 25,000 professional visitors coming from all over the world. So they're coming from more than 140 countries. We have over 1,100, so 1,100 exhibitors. here, including private companies, startups, NGOs, governments, etc. The conference has over almost 700 speakers right now, and we will have representative from around 900 to 1,000 cities. So it's a truly global event, and the size of the event is quite impressive. Yes.
It means that all of us who are just interested in this direction, that is the event that must to be, yes, and
You
just
need,
speak and share.
yeah, you need to come over here, because
Mhm.
one of the things that makes the event really special is that in just 3 days of event, you can get to showcase and to meet with the whole ecosystem that is working on this, and it's beautiful to be able to collaborate together with other cities, with other regions, with other companies, with other countries. Something that is not easy to do from your day to day in Poland, right? But I see this as a huge opportunity, and as you were mentioning, right, from cities from Poland to showcase what they're doing, but also to help the companies that are helping them doing this to be able to sell their technologies or their innovations to other countries in the world. Right now, Poland as a country is super hot. It's one of the it's one of the leaders in Europe and in the world on application and development of technology. And I strongly believe that there's a huge opportunity for Polish companies to come over to the event, and for the Polish cities to come over to the event and to showcase what they're doing. This is something that it's a very unique opportunity.
I discovered as when during my many discussions with my colleague from exactly this domain, I think that all of them will go there just to speak, just to make new friends as well, and
Exactly.
speak about the most important topics that, in fact, currently happen, however, will happen soon. Ugo, how do you see the role of the Smart City Expo in shaping the global urban agenda over the coming decade?
Wow.
I know this question is so general, and but please give some even some kind of guideline, because I still
Yeah.
see that the platform that's as well I treat Barcelona Expo not only as an event, as an expo, as a conference, but as
Yeah.
a platform which could shape the future of the urban environment.
Yeah. I agree. This is something that is very very important for us. I am very proud of being able to help on this. We want to help accelerate the adoption and the implementation of urban innovation all over the world. We try to share. What we do is to, and what we will do is to keep on bringing the best practices all over the world, to keep on bringing the right people from all over the world, to have this opportunity to share and discuss and to do business together, right? So I believe that we can help, and we are an accelerator towards the implementation of the SDGs, of let's say of the Paris Agreement, from the COP, and we truly want to remain this place where the urban future will be decided. So what we will do is to make sure that we do good things, that we showcase good things, that we have the proper discussions that need to happen, that we will help on, for instance, as I mentioned prior to this, when you have this discussion about AI. Okay, so how can we use AI responsibly, right? And not just use AI for the sake of using AI, right? This type of things that we help shaping, and we help shape the discussion and the implementation on this.
There is as well what I see when we are just touching AI. There are big wave of discussions. However, when you just dive into cities, there is still big question mark. What to do with that? How to order data? Because AI doesn't work without data. This kind of cycle is that this cycle cannot close because there is no data. There is no order data. There is no any strategy. It's hard to implement AI. That's why I see this market in this part of the Europe especially defragmented,
Yeah,
because there is no one common strategy what to do with that. On the other hand, there is a buzzword and everybody loves to hear about it. However, there is a big problem how to
exactly.
implement it, how to make it efficient, especially for the residents.
Absolutely, absolutely. And just to put an example here. So, for instance, I travel all over the world to meet these customers and these let's say these visitors that are coming later to Barcelona, right? So every time I go to China, I am impacted by the by the use of AI in China. But what in this case, what Chinese companies need to understand is that the use of AI that they're doing in China is not replicable here in Europe, for instance, right? So we try to help them bridging this gap, right, and to have the proper discussions that they need to have with the let's say the European cities or the European companies towards understanding that the use of AI in this case needs to be completely different from what they're doing in China, right? It's exactly the same thing when we go to the Middle East or when we go to Americas or when we are here in Europe. It's you need to be able to adapt to the reality of the citizens and of the culture of every location, right? So I believe this is one of the things that we're very proud to be working on and to help the whole world towards becoming better places to live in.
My probably last, maybe not last, because I should have as well, I must have as well additional, question, which I always, give to the person who is the Spanish one. However, before I will just ask you about it, what is the single piece of advice which you give to young entrepreneurs and leaders who want to influence the future of the cities? Because you are meeting them, yearly there are thousands of people who are just coming there to be inspired or to share what they already done. What is the piece of advice, especially for those young people? I as well cooperate with a lot of students. I'm as well still active lecturer, on the
Yeah,
Jagiellonian University, and they're asking me, what is the direction? Piece of advice to be successful.
might be simple or might sound simple, but my best advice is they keep on being very bold and innovative. This is what they bring to the table, and their energy is so great on this. But we need them to keep being very bold and innovative. That's the most important thing. And of course, they need to be ready when they come to the event to be part of this collaboration between the private, the public, and the civic sector. Right. This is a huge opportunity for them to be part of this, and they're treated equally to the rest of the ecosystem. They are part of a huge part of the ecosystem, and but we need them to bring over a lot of energy and to be bold. This is what we expect from the younger generations. When just bear in mind, when right now I'm 49 years old. When I started this, I was much younger and I had a lot of energy. So I try to be bold, and I try to keep on being bold here, and we need this energy because
But I
we are
still
working.
feel the energy from your side,
Yeah,
I feel it,
exactly.
even online. However, I feel the energy that
Yeah,
I
when
see
we
that you
meet
are
in
so
person, you'll
motivated.
see. But you need to do this because we are trying to make the world a better place. This is the mission, and this is the goal. So you need to have a lot of energy because, of course, there are a lot of missteps around the let's say the path that we're bringing. Sometimes we will make mistakes. Sometimes we will do or say stupid things. I don't care, but you need to be bold because otherwise we're not going to improve the world, and this is our mission, man.
I think, especially because there is in general the city, domain. There is the public, which is, I think, from time to time is extremely hard to approach because of the some law as well. The process should be transparent because, in fact, city is spending our money. That's why the process is a little bit more difficult. However, still possible, and especially when you are just bringing some nice innovation to implement. That is, great.
Exactly. Exactly.
Ugo,
And
my
yeah,
last
just one
is
thing, Sebastian.
sorry. Mhm.
Just one thing. This is wonderful that you mention it because at the event it's very easy. Let's say it's not super easy, but it's very easy to reach those cities. In your day to day, it's very hard to do that. But at the event, you have everybody together doing the same thing. So it's very easy to do that. So be bold and have discussions with everybody. It's like that.
And my last question, Ugo, tell me, are you football fan?
Yes.
Tell me, what is the future of Barcelona now? Because we saw that we lost, probably that they lost last game, and as well, especially for all of us, the Barcelona is the most important club. I think that you know why.
I'm a huge Barca fan. I am a Barca member, soci. I'm very happy with how we are playing. And of course, sometimes you get to play against a team that is at least on Wednesday they were better than us. This happens, no problem. But we are on the right path, and we have a huge amount of younger players that are wonderful. So I'm very positive about the future of Barca. So I'm not worried about that.
But you have as well the player which is almost the older one, is Robert Lewandowski, our
Robert,
big
Robert is
star.
Robert is so great. And you know what? Robert is on the path of becoming, I believe, the sixth best goal scorer in the history of Barca. It's nearby Eto'o right now. It's still some 20 goals until reaching Eto'o, but I really believe he will be there, and I hope to keep him also for next year. I know he's old, but he's so great, and he brings over a lot of tutoring to the younger players. So we are so happy to have him at the team, and also Chesney. I'm sorry because I may be mispronouncing his name. It's difficult for us. Tech is a wonderful goalkeeper, and we are so happy to have these two Polish players at the team. Yeah.
That's yes. You have two Polish players, which for us, all of us, that because I think this kind of love to Barca is always very visible in Poland. However, now, especially when there are two players, Szczęsny and Lewandowski, I think that in many our houses, they are watching each game of Barca. That's why I'm as well cheering, because I think that what can define us is not the age, is the effectiveness. And Robert is extremely effective. I hope that in the moment he will just spend much more time on the yard. However, I still believe there is the very strong element of the team of Barca, yes?
Absolutely. We are so glad to have him here. So
Ugo, please share with us your last sentence. Maybe it should be directed to all of our fans, because I see that there are few online. However, I think that this our live will just be shared among them, because I think that we are bringing some fresh and direct information from the Smart City Expo, marvelous event, which is a platform not only Congress and the Expo.
sure. So just very quickly, first of all, thank you very much for being interested on urban innovation and for the work that you guys are doing. Together, we are changing the world for the better. So this is something very cool and something that we need to be very proud of. And of course, I would love to meet you here in Barcelona from 4 to 6 November, this 2025. And of course, the years after. You have it is a wonderful opportunity to be all together here and to create the world a better place. So
Especially that what I check, the flight ticket is extremely cheap. I was so surprised that it's so
Really?
cheap when we are traveling. Yes, I think that is the same price when we are just flying from Warsaw to Krakow on to Gdańsk. That is the similar cost of the ticket. So I as well recommend to all of us, to all of you guys, just to join us, because I'm personally will fly as well, just to make some direct transmission to all of our people who are just following Miasto channel. Ugo, thank you very much. Thanks a lot for your time with us. So let's meet personally in Barcelona. Thanks a lot. Bye.
Love that. You take care. Ciao.
Ciao. Thank you very much. I think that this live was in English. However, I think that for all of you, that's not the problem. You will get familiar with this beautiful event, and so let's meet in Barcelona. Dziękuję Wam bardzo i do zobaczenia w Barcelonie 3-4 listopada, gdzie będziemy mogli poczuć, zobaczyć, dotknąć tego, co najbardziej innowacyjne na świecie, kiedy myślimy o rozwoju miast oraz środowisk oraz społeczeństwa żyjących w tych miastach. Ja Was bardzo żegnam. Oglądajcie, dzielcie się tą informacją, bo dla mnie bardzo ważne jest to, żebyście wykorzystali z tej wiedzy, którą staramy się Wam pokazywać. Do zobaczenia i standardowo nasze nowe, odświeżone intro. Słuchajcie, nie mogę go włączyć, nie wiem dlaczego. A, widzicie? O, już mam. Żegnam Was serdecznie. Cześć!